On to another related development. According to reports, 6 Israelis were detained overnight after attacking soldiers near the West Bank village of Kafr Malik. The Israeli military says dozens of civilians hurled stones and verbally abused troops. They also vandalized military vehicles and tried to ram the soldiers. The security forces dispersed the crowd and arrested 6 suspects. This violence follows an earlier attack by settlers in Kafr Malik, where Palestinian officials say 3 Palestinians were killed. The Palestinian Health Ministry accused Israeli settlers of setting fire to homes and to vehicles. The Israeli military says it responded after settlers set fire and clashes broke out with Palestinians. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu condemned the attacks on the soldiers, and he called for a thorough investigation and promised to prosecute those responsible. Opposition leaders also condemned the violence, calling the attackers extremists and criminals. Israeli settlements in the West Bank are considered illegal under international law. Settlement expansion has increased since Netanyahu returned to power in 2022, supported by far-right parties. This has fueled tensions and violence across the region. And finally, we're joined by Rohan Gunaratne once again. Rohan, do you think the Israeli government is doing enough to prevent this settler violence in the West Bank particularly? We've mentioned previously that these settlements are viewed as illegal under international law. Some critics say that the Israeli government, even in some circumstances, in regards to some ministers, pushes it forward. We saw Smotrich, the finance minister, he announced 22 new settlements in the West Bank. What do you think the Israeli government? What do you think of the Israeli government's actions in regard to this issue?
Firstly, these settlements by the far-right groups have created a lot of turmoil, both for the Palestinians and for the Israelis. And I personally believe that these settlements should stop, because it will never contribute to peace between the Palestinians and the Israelis, or peace in that region. So, but at the same time, it is important for there to be a greater understanding on the part of both the Palestinian Authority in the West Bank, that is the ruling entity, and the Israeli forces that are operating, because there are terrorist cells that are active in West Bank, and those Israeli forces, the reserve forces and the regular forces, are constantly vigilant of those activities. But there has been some illegal activity that has made the West Bank Palestinians react to the presence of those soldiers, and there has been clashes. So it is important to minimize those clashes and to ensure that there is harmony and amity between the Israelis and the Palestinians. It is only then we will see peace in the Middle East.
Rohan Gunaratne, thank you very much for your insight and joining us on the